Hello, hello. So right now we are live and direct, and I'm just waiting for Jesse and David to call in. Right now, I'm setting everything up over here on this side to make sure I got everything squared away. Man, what is it today? Here we go. We got it. We got the call.
This call is now
Esta
being
es Global
recorded.
Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada,
Cinco.
gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello, hello.
What's up, James?
What up, David? How's it going?
Hey, it's going. I'm going to tell you right now, today is an excellent day for David.
Wonderful. I second that. I concur.
Man, I could definitely
And
hear
it's
that.
not just because...
I could hear that pep in
No,
your
I'm
step
serious,
right
man.
now.
Today, yeah, I'm telling you, man, this is a good day for me.
He's
So let me-
excited right now because he was out there playing basketball, scoring points.
Yep. That's what it is.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah. I want to say fifth man, or we say the sixth man. I got to get these terms down. I came off the bench, played gloriously. Like, we're talking about remember the Titans kind of shit.
Hey, man, where'd
There you
you,
go.
where'd you get so good at basketball?
I think it's a little mixture between overconfidence and luck.
Or maybe you were playing with
know,
some people that had no basketball skills whatsoever.
Oh,
No.
of course, that plays a part.
Yeah, that always plays a part. But let me tell you this: these guys are actually decent. We played one of the better teams. We have a league in here. And have I mentioned to you about the leagues before? I know I talked to you about the softball league.
Yeah, you have.
But we have other leagues. All right, so we have the basketball league right now, and so what they do is they organize. I don't even know how many teams there are. It's possibly there's 6 teams, at least 5, and so they have these memos from the captain that authorizes us to have players from both tiers because it's a split tier program here. You go to yard with top tier. If you're on the top tier, you go to yard with lower tier if you're lower tier. But when there's a league, they allow the mixing of tiers. And we go to the gym for this one, and we do what we do. We got these jerseys. There's 3 color jerseys. There's red jerseys, blue jerseys, and yellow jerseys. And we use our stopwatches. We have stopwatches on our watches, and the umpires, they got their they're refs. They're refs, but the refs have the black and white striped shirts, and we organize the whole league. We got a little scoreboard. It's got the little flags, with the numbers on them, and we rock it. We got a pretty decent gym here. So I don't play a lot. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't play a lot because for one, I'm still learning a lot of the fundamentals of basketball, and it's different when we're on the black court or on the blacktop, right? And we're playing, and it's prison ball. Like we get in there, we get jiggy with it, but when you're playing in the league, like these guys, whether they're incarcerated or not, they're taking their job seriously. They are the officials, and we have to respect their calls. So I have to watch the fouls. I have to watch the fundamentals. I have to make sure that I don't hurt anybody because when the fouls add up, that can put points on the board for the other team on free throws. So I have to learn all these, technical things about basketball, and I enjoy it. I told you I'm a WNBA super fan now. I have more than one bodysuit. It's not funny, James. I take my LA Sparks bodysuit and my Indiana Fever bodysuit very seriously.
I have to keep him from wearing them outside of the cell.
Nobody can touch them. Jesse, from time to time, will put my jersey on.
That's when I have nothing else to wear.
Yeah. It's a size small.
Yeah. Laundry day.
It's rough to see.
Yeah.
It's rough to see, man. I can tell you right now. It's outright scary. Sends a chill down my spine.
Borderline disrespectful.
But anyway, back to my basketball Hall of Fame story. So, coach puts me out there, and I perform. My job, I'm a big body. And I'm built like a brick. So my job is to take on the other big men. That's what it is. And I'm not opposed to fouling.
It's like bumper cars out there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I won't fail. I'm just saying I'm more aware of the way I'm fouling and the times that I'm fouling. But there's guys that just barrel through, man. These guys are some big mofos. You know, they come barreling through, and I don't hesitate to throw my body in front of them. They're gonna have to run me over, and I can flop like the best of them.
Like a straight panchero on the soccer field.
I'm rolling around. I'm holding my ankle. They're like, dude, they hit your shoulder. You know what I mean? Jesse runs up and he sprays freaking aerosol on me.
Yeah, make sure he's alive. He's convulsing, and as soon as they say no foul, he gets right up.
Walk off.
Yeah, he walks
yeah.
right off. Pass me the ball.
I throw extras on it. I'm in agony when I'm on the ground, or I appear to be. So anyway, I put some points up on the board, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm hooked. My son plays organized basketball, and him and my wife, they tell me about what it's like to be in that environment. You know, where the crowd's cheering and you know the buzzer beaters and everybody's on their feet, and to be on the floor or to be on the sidelines, to be a part of the process. And when I scored, it was as if I hit that last buzzer beater. There were still 2 quarters left to play.
The crowd goes wild. He was like Corky out there.
Hey, I look like
from the Wonder Years.
What's his name?
No,
It was even worse. Like I was celebrating. Like what's his name? Like what's that?
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Remember when Smeagol got his hands on that ring and jumped around in circles while he was melting in the lava? That was me. Yeah. Yep.
Hey.
Yeah.
So hey, let me go and give a shout out to the listeners or the viewers right now. We got let's see who we got on here, because you know, hey, we're here for them. We got Tammy. Yep. Good afternoon from Detroit. We got.
Hey, what's up? Detail.
That's right. We got Maribel. She writes, "Hi guys."
Hey.
And we got Margaret.
Maribel. Where's Maribel from?
She didn't put she didn't write down where she's from, but maybe if she's listening right now, she'll drop that in the comments. We got Margaret, and she writes, "Hello everyone," and she knows Tito or Tito. She's from
Tito.
Yeah.
TikTok Tito? No, that's cool. No, we send a shout out to the old man. The old man's my boy.
Hell yeah.
So, Margaret, thank you for supporting Tito, and thank you for supporting us.
We also got M Star Media, and she writes, "Saludo fellas," and right now you were speaking about basketball. She writes, "I can't wait to see my son play basketball." We also got KC _ fan on the TikTok side, so highly appreciated everybody that's listening and tuning in.
Yep. 2 classic listeners on there. We got some new ones.
Yeah.
But we got some classics. M Star Media, KC fan _ Yep. You guys always support Jess and I.
Yep.
I
was asking about Maribel. I was wondering if it's a friend of mine.
Okay, maybe she'll drop something in here, and then we also got Lupita Felix, and she writes hello.
That's right. Send ours always. That's great.
Send a shout out. Yeah.
Lupita, I think that's your friend, the one that you know.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. It's great. It was good. She just stumbled upon the channel. Just happened to pass through, and it just happened to make it was a cool thing. It was very useful, very helpful.
It's a good thing that she's on here because possibly she can help articulate or explain about initiate justice. Are you familiar with initiate justice, James?
No, I've heard of it, but I'm not exactly sure what. You know what? I think they post up like a lot of information, like tutorials, or they put a lot of documents on how to fill out forms, right? And a lot of information as far as like the propositions are coming in, or they're trying to push out, or the ones that get passed.
Yeah, in a nutshell. But look, Initiate Justice they're an abolitionist organization, which means that they want to abolish the concepts of mass incarceration in prisons as they stand today. That's what they are. That's what they are fundamentally. That's the foundation of Initiate Justice. So
yeah, and they're predominantly justice impact individuals that are associated with them. You know what I mean? Like the majority of the staff are either formerly incarcerated or the loved ones of those who are incarcerated. The actual founder was actually, I believe, the wife of a either formerly life-term prisoner or
Rich. I believe Rich was one of the founders, but I could be mistaken. But so I got involved with Initiate Justice back in 2018, and I believe they've been around since possibly 2016 or 17. But so what they do, being that they're an abolitionist organization, it doesn't mean that they want to stop punishing crime. It has to be the concept of punishment.
Punishment has to meet the crime.
It has to meet the crime, but there has to be a reimagining of the concept because it's not working. This isn't working. We have millions of people. What is it? A million people or so? How many people are incarcerated in the United States, James? I'm sure you can find that number, but it's a lot. It's a lot. We were at over 90,000 in California before they started making the changes in the prisons.
Shit, we're at 100. We're at 90 right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we were at 160. Yeah, we were at 160,000.
This is after the changes. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's packed in here. Yeah. Now,
a system that's built for like 60,000.
Yeah. So Initiate Justice is basically saying, look, we're not saying that people shouldn't be held accountable for their crimes. We're just saying that rehabilitation is important because a high majority of the people that offend are going to be back out there in society. It's just what it is. Not everybody's going to stay in prison for the rest of their lives. People are going to get commuted. A lot of people are being released under the board system. A lot of people don't even have to go to board. The offenses have changed. Now, what tough on crime advocates are saying is, look, it's not working. We got smash and grabs going on all over the country. We got these things going on in San Francisco. We got these guys, we got these zombies that are basically knotted out, hanging backwards while they're standing up all over the street corners, you know. And these guys look crazy. I see them on TV, and it's like, dude, it's like Walking Dead out there. But look, does that mean that a tough on crime approach is the right way to go? Because I feel like they've had their opportunity.
They've already done it, and it clearly didn't work previously. Yeah. All they did was become a business for the prison industry.
Yeah, let's turn prison into a business. Let's do that. Let's
start warehousing these guys so we can start pumping a bunch of funds into a system that doesn't work.
Yeah, there's two important bills. There's two important bills that are on the ballot right now. One of them being Prop 36, and another one is Prop 6. But what we wanted, so Initiate Justice, what they do is they strengthen us by involving the incarcerated population with our loved ones out there in society. That's what they do. They give us a voice. We could be a union, the incarcerated population. We could be a union if every single person, think about it, 90,000 people in California that are incarcerated at least. If we were to ask one family member to vote, that's 90,000 votes. We're not saying, okay, well, we're gonna force these people to, our families and loved ones to vote. No, all we have to do is inform them about what's out there, because a lot of times people are not informed. What do? We watch the commercials, we watch the campaign messages, but do we really know what's in the meat of these bills?
I've mentioned it before on the show. Like, I'm pretty much a black sheep in what's left of my family, and all my siblings, that are out there are productive members of society. They work, they pay taxes, some of them own businesses. And the reality of it is, I've never in my life seen anybody in my family vote, because a lot of the times minority communities, and we are minorities. If you're Hispanic, if you're black, if you're of another descent in the United States, you're the minority. So the reality is, we don't, in our communities, we're so tight knit that we think that this doesn't apply to us. And of course, Dave and I, when I say we, I'm speaking as the community as a whole. Because me personally, I was an antisocial. Dave was an antisocial. I didn't care what the rules or how it affected or what the laws had to say, because I acted outside of those parameters, for many, many years. I didn't care. I was part of the problem. Those laws were implemented because of people like...
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
who was terrorizing the streets, and they thought that was a way to a solution. But like Dave was saying, they had their shot at it already, and it was not. It didn't solve anything. You know, those draconian tough on laws didn't solve anything. But what I was saying is, I've never seen anybody in my family vote. You know, because they were never informed. They didn't feel like it impacted them in any way because they're like, well,
we're not bad people,
right?
Just we're informed.
But we're in a new age, you know.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
We're gonna give you a call back, in. This
For
is
sure.
An important topic.
Hey,
Yep, I'll give you a call back.
I got those numbers as far as the incarcerated people in the U.S. It's 1.2 million, and I want my money and I want it now.
Yep, think about that when we call back. Think about that number: 1.2 million people incarcerated in the United States. I'll call.
All right. So we're currently taking live calls from the state of California, the CDCR, and this would be Centinela State Prison, level 3 yard for those of you that care, because I know that's important to a lot of you guys. And let's see right here, we got a comment from M-Star Media on the one of the other platforms that we're streaming on, and she writes, the people that gain from it. The people that gain from their incarcerated don't want that, so the cycle continues like a hamster wheel. That's right. And then, let me see. We got a comment from Tito.
This call
Tito
is
says,
now
hello,
being
I'm on
recorded.
the
Global
phone.
Telling, usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
James.
Yep.
James.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying is a lot of people in these communities, they're just not informed. They just don't know. They don't believe it affects them. You know, unless it's something specifically that's close to home. And a lot of times, because my family are law-abiding citizens, they're not really worried about how the laws impact the community because they stay within the perimeters of the law, you know, and they're just like, oh, I don't think nothing of it, you know, until you know you have a brother that ends up getting life in prison, and then it's like, okay, well, man, he's been there forever, and they see what I'm doing today, and they're like, hey, well, why is it, you know, why can't you come home? You know, like, I feel like you paid your debt. Weren't you given 25 to life? You've already been there. You know, things like that. Those are certain questions that are asked. But the thing about it is, and I explained to them, you know, it was people like me who made it easy to get laws passed that kept these doors closed, you know, and so I don't say any of this to minimize or rationalize or justify any of the stuff in my past. You know, we made it easy that people could pass laws like the ones that it took forever, you know, for like Initiate Justice and other organizations to unroll. So, but today we are now a part of the solution. You know, today there's an R behind CDC, and that R means something. Today they're investing in us, we're investing in ourselves, and now we get to go back out to these communities. And like it or not, most people in prison will be returning to society. You know, so trying to walk it back and become a warehouse again for something that and crime absolutely is a bad thing. There is no good, there is no bad. You know, like the crime is horrible, but the reality of it is crime comes from a social issue. You know, it's not about the punitive aspect of crime. What they need to start doing is addressing the issues in the community where this crime is ridden. Like Dave was saying, these smash and grabs and all this thievery stuff that people are out there doing and stuff, I don't condone it at all. That's craziness, because that right there, it affects everybody as a whole. Like, who do you think the cost gets pushed to? It could push to the consumer. When you got all these clowns running into these stores, and you got businesses closing down in communities because they just don't even want to be in certain communities, like that stuff is horrible. And in the past, I would have been like, that's right, get that shit, fool. You know, like, you know, I didn't even understand the impact of something like that. To me, it's like, they're stealing some clothes. It's no big deal. Nobody got hurt. But the reality of it is, like, that affects everybody. That affects the community as a whole. So there absolutely should be some accountability and some responsibility for these ignorant and silly crimes, you know, and the ones that are horrible, that are horrendous, you know.
And I just want to highlight, though, the fact that, look, a lot of these people that are doing these types of crimes.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
We got to ask ourselves why. Why are they doing this? Why do these people, we get a little peek of what they look like. Sometimes they got masks on, you know, sometimes we could see a wrist, and I see a lot of black and brown wrists. You know, that's a lot of our people. that are doing this. You know,
it's that social issue I was talking
yep.
about.
And that's the thing. Okay, so why is it that when we look around the prison yard, we are not the minority, we are the majority of prison. The prison population looks just like us, brown or black. There's some whites in prison. You know, I'm not going to say that they don't commit crimes or not, but what's going on systemically that's causing these things to happen, and that's what needs to be addressed. The money and the social intervention has to come at a systemic level. There has to be changes made to prevent this. Now, what I think they should do is empower the store owners to be able to protect themselves. Stop being worried so much about, hey, man, I tackle this dude down that's rolling around a beach cruiser around my Walmart, or around my Walgreens, you know, and I'm afraid that this guy's going to lose everything because he's protecting my business. You know, I don't agree with that. But there has to be something to address this. Yeah. Now, what Prop 36 does, all right, well, I got to give you a little background. So there was laws that were passed before, which such as Propositions 47 and 57. Now, those laws, they created pathways for resentencing. So, and also what they did was they reduced petty theft and drug offenses to misdemeanors. That's what they did, like small amounts. Misdemeanors, which meant that people who got in trouble with drugs, they were being site released. They had to show up to court, and they had to seek out treatment and other things other than incarceration.
But yet they didn't have the resources to ensure that those people were seeking out treatment.
There has to be resources. You know, there has to be more of an
follow through.
It has to be a hands-on approach.
Right.
Because these are drug addicts. Guess what? Jesse and I, we know drug addicts.
Yep.
We stare at a drug addict every time we look in the mirror in the morning. We know what it is. We're in recovery. We've been in recovery for years, but that does not take away from
the 28 years that we were in our addiction.
That we were in our addiction. We know what it looks like. We know what that feeling is like, that desperate feeling, because guess what? I don't care who you are or what you are, what type of power dynamic you have. What, if you're a CEO, if you're a mob leader, it doesn't matter. If that stuff will take hold of you. It will take hold of you. And I believe that it's taken hold of all those people out there.
Yeah.
You know, I doubt those people would want to be contorted backwards on a street corner. You know,
they could see themselves.
Yeah, I doubt they wanted to die. It's just, look, why do you think somebody would voluntarily do something like that? That's addiction. You think that they won't run into a CVS and clear the shelf to support that habit?
And even for the ones who aren't addicts, you know, you see a lot of these young kids, you know, they end up posting on social media, and they go on, you know, and hey, we're going to do this smash and grab, and it's like going to a party. When I was growing up, you know, they did flyer parties. They did, hey, we're going to have right here, there's going to be a kickback, and everybody made it their business to get there. Today they're doing them smash and grabs that are like that, and like I said, to me that's bullshit. You know, like that's just craziness. But again, like Dave said, what's going on in these kids' lives, even the ones that may be coming from decent homes, what's going on in their lives that is compelling them to be involved in something like that? You know, like what's the driving force behind it? And again, it goes back to the social issues that they're not addressing. You know, and so they think that through new initiatives like Prop 36, that it's gonna fix something. But I'll be the first one to tell you, as a lifetime criminal, as a lifetime convict, that it don't matter what the law is. The law didn't deter anybody. Punishment does not deter anybody. By the time you're out there breaking the law, you're not a child anymore. You don't care. That's just the truth about it. You don't care because your circumstances are already so miserable and hopeless that we're like, how much worse can it get? Take me to jail. Oh, well, I'll be there with my homies. So if they think that by walking back laws, you know, that have opened the doors and allowed us rehabilitation and opportunities is going to make a difference, that's craziness. Because what about the many years that all this stuff was super punitive? It did nothing to deter the problem. It did nothing to prevent people from committing these crimes. It did nothing but create an epidemic, you know, in prison of people being locked up, of mass incarceration, you know. And so it's craziness to think that, you know, that by changing, by making things harsh again, it's going to change anything. You know, like all you have to do is look back at history, and you have all the proof you need that stuff doesn't work.
Yep, Initiate Justice describes Proposition 36 as 3 strikes 2.0. Basically, what they're saying is that for repeated offenses, the penalty gets harder and harder, harsher and harsher. That's why I just want to say, so everybody knows, vote no on Prop 36.
Absolutely.
Tell your loved ones, tell your friends, Prop 36 is not what you think it is. Prop 36 is a step back in the wrong direction. Yep. It's a step backwards. It's that tough on crime, war on drugs approach that does not work.
Yep.
Let's watch that 1.2 million incarceration rate drop it right back up. Absolutely.
Yep. And the reality of it is, for those three strikers, and again, I get it, I understand where some of them are coming from, but the reality of it is, it's easier for me, a convicted murderer, to get out of prison than it is for a three-striker to get out of prison. So
it's true, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yep. and that's just madness, So they need to understand what's going on in an individual's life that he continues to reoffend, and so absolutely vote no on Prop 36. And for anybody that listens to this channel, anybody that listens to this channel that is system impacted, you want to get involved. This is how you get involved. I know a lot of you guys tend to support your loved ones, tend to support, go visit, send money, take care of them. But there's some people who have completely changed their life, who have completely been an asset to this transformation, and that's what you can do. Sometimes it's as simple as voting.
Yep.
Get out there and vote.
The crazy part is our listeners out there that don't have incarcerated people, loved ones, family members, maybe you just stumbled on this channel, maybe you were curious, but if you...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
If you follow Jesse and myself, if you follow our story, you're a part of this now. You're a part of our lives now. You come back on. You're like, hey man, let's see what these two idiots have to say this weekend. Let's see what these dudes are up to. But the fact of the matter is that you come back and you guys support us, man. You guys support us, and that makes you in a way system impacted. You guys care. You guys care. You guys know us. You can't say, well, I don't know anybody in the system. I don't know anybody that's been to that. Well, guess what? You know us now.
And this right here, what you hear, being able to tune in with Dave and I, and for us to even be able to have the conversations that we have right here on this channel, this is the result of walking back those laws and creating hope for people like us. Because when we were in here at one time and there was absolutely no hope, you were given a life sentence. There was no R behind the CDC. There was nothing to do in here but use drugs and act violent, continue with the very same behavior that brought us to prison, because it's like, I'm going to die in prison. So I'm going to do anything I can to escape this reality. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. So what you hear coming out of Dave and I today, all the progress that we made and all the recovery that we're committed to, our education, our giving back, all that stuff is a result of laws being changed that is giving us the opportunity to know that one day we may have an opportunity to get our freedom back. And being able to capitalize on the resources, again, because society is they're basically helping us out there too by
giving us opportunities.
Giving us these opportunities, absolutely. And so it's on us to commit to them in here. But if we didn't have any of this, we'd still be doing the very same things, because nobody has no motivation to change if you're in misery.
It has to come from within.
Right.
And Jesse and I, we've looked at what prison is. We've looked at it. We've accepted this reality. Okay, we're incarcerated. Jesse and I were both lifers. We're both sentenced to life in prison. We could die in prison, both of us. We have the L. I got two of them. I got 2 life sentences technically. Yes, we do take responsibility, both of us, for taking somebody's life. That's why I got the time that I got. That's why Jesse got the time that he got. We were sentenced to decades in prison. But does that mean that we have to continue on that path to destruction? It does not. I looked inward. I had my moment of conviction where I realized, you know what, man, this is going to change. I'm going to change my life no matter what, and I don't care. The culture of prison. What is the culture of prison, Jess, in a nutshell?
The culture of prison is just violence and destruction.
That's
initially.
It. That's all it is.
That was before laws started changing, where you could get family visits, where I may have an opportunity to go home. All these things that started giving us hope and giving us motivation to do the right thing.
Drugs,
stop being as important, because we didn't need that escape route.
We did, We just said, you know what, I'm not going to escape them, or I'm not going to run from it. But this still goes on around us. you know, it still happens. There's still violence. This yard has gone down many times just in the past couple of days. You know, the violence is increasing here. It happens. That's a part of our reality. We don't, you know, there's J-Cats here. You know what I mean by J-Cat? There's people that just act freaking, they just act crazy, man. They act like nuts, and they're not all. I mean, I don't want to say they're not struggling with mental health, but these guys that are doing this, they just don't care. They don't care. They got nothing to lose, man. They don't care. And so we have to be aware of that. They're talking about recently changing this yard to a non-designated level 3, which means that they're going to integrate general population in SNY on this yard. That's something that came up within the last week. And so that's a reality that Jesse and I are going to have to deal with. There's dudes that are going to come onto this yard that don't like that we freed ourselves of those types of politics. And we're going to have to accept, you know, whatever happens, we're going to have to do the best we can.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
The only difference now is we understand that we have other options.
Yeah.
Where before we lived in such a survival instinct, a survival mode that was like, oh, they're coming, well, we're going to get them first. Or like there was just all this silliness. For me, I totally understand. I have other options. I don't have to give my power over to anybody else. How they decide to act coming to this yard is irrelevant to me. I know what I have to do to prevent myself from being dragged into a situation.
Yeah, I could sell my ostrich skin boots, put some soups on the locker drains, you know what I mean? Hey,
get a bow and look out the window.
Hey, yeah, so I don't have to go to chow that morning when them dudes are going to go out and handle their business. You know what I mean? I'll be like, look, man, you know, I might actually eat the ostrich for once. You know, I can boots out of it.
There you go.
Hey, I'm going to give you a call back right now, James.
All right, for sure. All right, so I know some of our new subscribers over there on the TT side are probably expecting you know, some border parole hearings, but those I don't normally do on the weekends because they don't take place. Normally either Saturday or Sunday I have Jesse and David call in, and they're currently serving some time in CDCR. California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitations, and they're located at Centinela State Prison, which would be right next to the Mexico border. And there they are. They're calling back, and these calls are live.
Esta es
call is now
Global
being
Telling.
recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima
5.
ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah. Before I go off on a tangent, I want to talk about Proposition 6. So, Proposition 6 is something that we want people to vote yes on. Now, what this does, this eliminates involuntary servitude from the California State Constitution. So, I don't know if a lot of the viewers out there know that slavery does exist within the California Constitution still. It mentions it. So what this does is it allows the authority, whoever's in authority, to utilize involuntary servitude as a means of punishment. So we commit a crime. We are basically, there's a green light to enslave us to work against our will. So that's pretty serious language right there. We're not talking about the 1800s. The 1860s, the Emancipation Proclamation. We're talking about 2024. Slavery does exist within the California Constitution. So, what
he means by slavery is us in here working for 8 cents an hour.
Yeah, and so we get a ducat. It's a job assignment in here, and what that does is we have to report. It gives us the time to report. I have to report to my job at 8 a.m. No, 9 a.m. I got to report to my job, and technically I could be there all the way till 1600 hours, which is 4 o'clock. So I get paid. I have a decent pay number. My pay number is probably not the best, but it's one of the best pay numbers on the yard. I get paid 48 cents an hour, and that's pretty low. And then they take half of it. So whatever I get from the month. I get about $30 at the end of the month, and then CDCR comes and they take half of it because I owe restitution still.
Yeah, rightfully so. They want you to pay restitution to your victim, as you should, but yet they don't give you an opportunity to make any money to get to them.
Yeah, I do believe that I should pay restitution. I owe. When I was sentenced, I was given $18,000 in restitution. So, which means I had to cover $8,000 for a funeral because I was responsible for the funeral costs, and and rightfully so. And then the court fined me. I got a court fine, which was $10,000 more. So, at 48 cents an hour, I'm never going to be able to pay that off.
Yeah.
Family that sends me money, my family works. They have to pay my wife and my mom, my family. They have to pay their bills. They have we have kids that my wife has to support, and so I don't get money like that. I'm taken care of. My wife makes sure that I don't go hungry in here. But that's
paying restitution shouldn't be her responsibility.
Yeah, it shouldn't be her responsibility. So she sends me money, and that gets taken. I lose half of that too.
Why don't you explain to them also about the farce and the sham of this latest regulation change about us getting paid double? They doubled the salary. Well, David used to make 24 cents an hour. Now he makes 40 cents an hour.
Yeah.
However, and they did it under the guise that we were going to have more access to programs and more opportunity to pay our restitution and have better living standard conditions because of this more money that we'd be making. However, when they did that, they cut everybody's shift in half. What used to be a 7 to 8 hour shift, they made it a 4-hour shift. So they doubled your pay, but they cut your shift in half.
That's
so tell me how you're making the exact same amount of money you were making.
Yeah, and the crazy part is I have to go in the morning. I go in the morning time because I technically volunteer now.
Yeah.
When I'm in there, because I'm not. Those aren't my assignment hours. So there's not. It's more work than just one of us in there can handle where I work at. So we do it okay, but sometimes we get kind of backed up with stuff. But we need the extra help. So I go and volunteer also. But I'm getting paid twice, but they cut my hours. So realistically, I'm just getting paid the same.
Yeah.
So it was a giant sham. So what they want to try to fix on Proposition 6 is to eliminate the language of involuntary servitude and slavery specifically out of the California Constitution. And voting yes on Prop 6 will help fix that. No on Prop 36, yes on Prop 6. That is our advocacy and policy hour.
Absolutely.
With Jesse the NAVA and David Lopez. Hey, now,
it's important because you don't want to roll back the progress that they've made in criminal justice reform. You know what I mean? You have like I said, we're finally starting to see the R behind CDC. Through organizations like Initiate Justice and other reentry programs that for the longest they had no part in CDC. There was no way of what they're trying to do is fix some of these social issues from the inside out, when what they could start doing is fixing the issues from the outside in. They're giving us the opportunities and they're giving us the resources so that we can become better people to hopefully take out to society some of the opportunities and some of the great things that we've learned while we were incarcerated. But they could be giving these resources to people out there on the streets instead of trying to warehouse more individuals. How about they start putting some of this money into the communities where a lot of us are coming from? Start giving some of these opportunities out there, some job trainings, vocation, education, all these things that people are so opposed to us getting in prison. Free. I'm getting a college degree. David and I both are 6.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
We're both 6 classes away from graduating. And if you ask a lot of people out there in society, they might be like, man, how the hell did these guys commit such a violent crime, go to prison, and get a free education? And I understand their sentiment. I totally understand their sentiment. Not only that, we get certifications and other vocational trainings and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you, by them, how much cheaper is it for them to give me a $10,000 AA degree and a $3,500 small engine certification than it is to warehouse me for $60,000 a year for the last 23 years that I've been in here. When you could give me these opportunities and you can give me these resources to ensure that when I return to my community, that I'm the kind of individual that never comes back. I have something to fall back on. You're not sending me back out to the marginalized, impoverished community that I came from. And so they need to start putting some of those resources into the communities instead of trying to turn around and implement these new propositions like 36, that would do nothing more than create more weight on the taxpayers, because who pays to keep people in prison? Yeah, you don't want these guys stealing and you don't want these drug addicts in your streets, but who do you think is paying to give these guys a bed and a hot meal and clothes when you send them to prison for years and years and years? It's you guys, the taxpayers, because the people in here aren't paying.
There should be a law passed that allows store owners to just beat the brakes off somebody who runs in there and tries to steal their jewelry.
Yeah. Somebody comes in and breaks my window, I should be allowed.
Just throw a haymaker, huh? So we're going to call it the One Haymaker Act.
Yeah, the One Haymaker Act. You can lock them in the jewelry store and just beat them with a broom. And you get away with it. But that's it's just important. Like I said, for everybody out there, there's a lot of people out there who may not have an idea of how they can impact and make a difference. You know what I mean? And us in here, we'd be nothing without the support that we have out there in society. Like our friends and people. A lot of times it takes somebody to be impacted by the system before they realize what's going on in the system, before they open their eyes or start to look into the system. And so if anybody that's listening to this who may not be just as impacted directly or may not have somebody, a loved one, or
other than Jesse and I.
Yeah, other than Dave and I, because we are now a part of your family. Yeah, but you guys can make a difference. You could share it with your friends. At work, your coworkers, your church members, people who you also believe may not be impacted by this. But explain to them, hey man, how do you feel giving a piece of your check every month to warehouse some guys in prison? How about, if we vote against this proposition, which would do nothing more than put more petty criminals in prison, so that you guys are paying $60,000 a year, $60,000 a year to house us, to house them, those individuals, and just think about it. Think about the ripple effects and the trickle down, and again, think about what the outreach that if you guys have access to resources. Think about the communities that you're living in, the businesses. We've came up on a beautiful opportunity through this channel. Dave and I and a friend of ours was already out there. We have awesome jobs waiting for us in society, and one of our friends just started yesterday or just recently. And if you have opportunities that can maybe change somebody's lives, you'd be surprised. What it can do for somebody. A lot of guys came in here hopeless. A lot of guys were in here. I was in here hopeless most of the time I was in here till I was able to commit to changing my life,
Yeah, you can learn more, too, about what we're talking about with Initiate Justice. You can go to the website, initiatejustice.org, and there's even a link on there. It says no on Prop 36, and there's even another one. It says vote yes, prop6.com. And so, like I said, look at it for yourself. Don't take our word for it. Look what's in the bill. And if you're interested about becoming possibly, there's outside organizers with Initiate Justice, and there's inside organizers. Me, I'm an inside organizer. I've done training, so my job is to inform the population within prison to see how I can help spread the message in here. And outside organizers are people that, they want to get involved, or they have their system impactor, they have loved ones that are incarcerated, and so they work with Initiate Justice. They go to the Capitol, they talk to the Assembly members, to the Senate members, and they make a difference. Amazing people, Initiate Justice, outside organizers. I give a shout out to anybody that's an outside organizer out there, because
without you guys, it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, we're committed, man. We're committed because we see a genuine desire that you guys have to help us and to see change, lasting change. Yeah. So just a shout out to all you guys. What you're doing matters. We see it, and it's making us better people in here as well.
Yep.
That love is winning.
Yep. And for those who don't know what it is, and they look at it like, oh, these are just some tree huggers that are trying to give all these criminals, open the doors for all these criminals. That's not even the case.
I wouldn't let Jesse anywhere near my tree to hug it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him near my tree.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm like a dog that start humping the tree.
quick. We'll take and Felipe will take a leak on the tree.
Yeah.
That damn Felipe. Hey, let me tell you something about Felipe. Let me tell you something about prison in jail in general, James. What's your worst experience that you could think of when you were incarcerated when you were younger? Just something that stands out.
Man, when one of the staffs was sucking everybody up, they made us stand against the wall, and he just came down. He just started punching everybody in the chest one by one. I was like, ah, shit, this was gonna break my bird cage over here, and I didn't even do nothing. This fool had a 22-inch arms, so I was terrified. And this was maybe when I was like 16 years old. That's one of those moments that definitely sticks out to me, in the juvenile justice system, if you will.
That's jail. All right, so so there's things with the infrastructure of prison and jail that drive me bonkers sometimes. There's the bunks that are kind of small. You can't really get comfortable on them. The mattresses are always thin. There's always like little lumps in them. But you guys have heard how loud the toilets sound, right?
Yeah.
You know how they sound. And for the viewers out there that don't know what a prison toilet sounds like, it's freaking insane. It sounds like a jet. Now, I'm going to flush my toilet, and I want you guys to brace yourselves because I don't know how this sounds on your guys' side. And so we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to flush this toilet. All right. So did you hear that, James?
Yeah, we sure did.
You didn't yell "awa" either, so you're already messing up. You'll some burpees. I just want you to know after the podcast is over, we're gonna have to discuss your non-compliance. So,
hey,
anyway.
I'll do them over the phone. I'll do them over the phone, and I'll sound off so you can make sure that I did them. But I can't do it in Iowa though.
Thank you. That's all I. Hey, right now that's another one. That's two, James. I'm telling you. All right. So let me tell you this. Felipe's toilet. Okay, so. These toilets, you ever heard of a runaway toilet, James?
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Yeah, when it's like nonstop flushing, it just you can't stop it from going.
Felipe's toilet has been flushing for probably, I don't know, maybe 18 hours straight. Maybe about 12 hours straight. It's been flushing nonstop, right? I can hear it over there in the vent. It's so loud. Hey. I'm gonna call back right now because I want to laugh about this a little bit longer.
Hey, speaking of Felipe, where's Felipe at? He hasn't made no appearances. Is he all right? We need to.
Hey.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
This is an excellent time to bring up Felipe.
Yeah.
I'll call back right now.
All right, for sure. All right, so for those of you that are new here, Felipe, he's on the adjacent cell. Located right next to Jesse and David, and sometimes he'll bless us with his appearance by screaming into the vent because the vents are connected. So when he gets in the vent, if he screams, we could hear him, and that's how they communicate. In between the cells, they could communicate to the between the cells to the left and the right of them, and I believe they could also communicate with the cell under them. Screaming into the ventilation system, and there they are. They're calling right back.
This call is now being recorded.
Un individuo encarcelado
It's acting
de la
up.
prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Man, they're sabotaging us. 5. Hello.
Yeah.
Hey. So to give you a heads up, GTL they're back to their antics. The audio sounds really distorted right now.
Like how distorted? Like you can't understand this?
It's kind of like breaking up, like a little bit of static when you're speaking. Do you want to try calling back to check if it fixes the audio? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute because I'm gonna reset real quick and that should help it.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, you sound good now. You sound good. It looks like maybe it was just
Man, I was about to cut it right now. I was about to reset this whole tablet. All right, so okay, a couple things about Felipe, right?
Yeah.
Is I don't know if you heard about Des is having a hard time with her cancer battle.
Yeah. Yeah, he mentioned it to me the other
And
night.
yeah, so we want to give prayers for Des. Des is Felipe's girl. She's a great woman, and she's really, really struggling right now. The cancer came back, and she's in for the fight of her life right now. So we just want to give some prayers for her. We thought that it was that she had beat it, and it turns out that it was just it was lying dormant somewhere else. So I feel so bad for my boy, and we just gotta be there for him. Felipe's part of our family now too. So when he struggles and when he's hurting, we hurt also. And so he's been having a hard time with this, And we're trying to get out there, keep him motivated, keep him pushing forward, and the same goes for Des. We try to make her laugh and try to cheer her up and stuff, But she's a fighter, so I know that she'll be okay. But it's gonna be a tough fight. So Felipe's toilet though. Felipe got the runaway toilet. Like I said, it's been on for all night. So he must be in hell right now, honestly. It's so loud in there. I don't know if you can hear it. I want to see if
Maybe you put the microphone up to the van. I could just imagine Felipe right now. He's probably looking like SpongeBob or Squigglesworth. Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
That's coming from his cell. It's like a non-stop flush. So he's probably in a horrible mood. How do you sleep like that?
His eyes are all red, popping out of his head.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Let me see if I can get his attention. He probably can't even hear us, though. It's so loud in it. Hey, Felipe! Hey, come to the bed, Chihuahua!
Yeah, he heard that. Hey, he got those sonic ears.
You hear him?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on in your cell? We got James and we got all the viewers on. Hey, we're curious about what's going on in your cell. Oh, there he is. Felipe's in our cell. They opened the door right up for David. Hey, tell you, had me up all night listening to it. It's me off. Hey, you're on here with James and all the viewers. Tell everybody about your toilet.
My toilet's driving me insane right now. It's 2 in the morning.
It's driving you back.
Yeah, now it's just bringing me back to normal. It's already insane.
Hey, get out of our cell and close our door.
Hey, how about you go fuck yourself?
Wow. That's how you guys talk out there.
Yeah, that's how we talk.
Wow.
Hey, love. Hello, love. I don't like fish in here. Hey, good to do it in here.
Give me that.
Beat it, nerd. Hey, tell James I sent my man in
Don't just tell James.
You ceviche, you freaking asshole.
Hey, tell James and all the viewers, man.
I send my love to everybody, man. And I know I haven't been on there, but I just asked for some prayers for Derek. Man, she's going through a big procedure.
Did you send us?
She went home already, but on the 19th.
Did you send a shout out to Instar Media and KC_?
Yeah, everybody.
All right, I'm just making sure. Hey,
Hey, your bread smells like straight fish.
Hey, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, you smell like straight tuna.
Hey.
Hold the door. Hold it up. All right.
Sure. See you guys later.
Yep. All right. So that's Felipe. For the viewers that don't know who that is, he's the little guy that lives next door.
And it went out at 2.
That's what we should have done, huh?
Yeah. Because Ramos ain't here.
Hey, we got a comment here from Craven Moorhead, and she writes, they talk to each other like an old married couple.
That's exactly how they talk.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
It's horrible.
I want to say, no, she's wrong, and you don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know me in my life. You don't know me in my life. With me and Felipe been through. No, it's true.
Yeah, here I am. I'm just the adopted child caught in the middle.
Yep. I'm gonna get Jesse and her divorce. Hey, but sometimes I beat Felipe. I just do. I just want to beat him. Just beat him good, like a good old-fashioned 1920. Get the tree branch. Oh, right in the kiss. Right in the kiss.
We gotta be careful. We don't get. We gotta.
I'm bullying Felipe, and if anything, he'll probably beat me up. So if anything, you should give me the bully support.
Yeah.
Hey,
For me.
I think I'm gonna need to Felipe to do my workout for me. He's gonna have to do it via proxy.
And he'll go too. I'm gonna tell him. James said that you didn't do the workout for him. Hey, so speaking of crazy stuff, right? So recently it was brought to our attention that Jesse may or may not, including me, have metrosexual tendencies.
Just off the top, I was offended because I didn't know exactly what that meant.
He's like,
I mean, I've heard the term and I've even used the term.
yeah.
But I wasn't too sure about it.
He covered his backside and kind of started walking backwards. Like, hey, what's this all mean?
Yeah, what's going on here? We are in prison.
Because I dropped my soul. And so I thought that this was a funny topic to bring up because I was like, what the hell is a metrosexual? What is it? And it turns out that the definition of a metrosexual is somebody who. Hell no, I got sport today. I was a freaking champion. I put pucks on the board.
Hey, get my door open.
Hey, get our door open. Get our door open.
No, we'll get it too. We'll get it too.
Never mind. It's 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
We get time to get it open. You get nerd. All right. So, anyway, I looked up the term metrosexual, right? Because I wanted to see what I always heard about it, but I wanted to see what it was. And it's all it is it's a heterosexual male or a heterosexual person that just takes care of himself. That's all it is. And likes fancy clothes.
Yeah, like nice clothes, loves to take care of himself. And at first, when I was offended, after reading, David sent me the tablet with the definition this morning, and I was like, oh, I'm absolutely heterosexual.
No, you're heterosexual, yeah, but you're definitely metrosexual, too.
I mean, yeah. I'm metro, homo, and hetero.
And he covers all.
Yeah, I cover all spectrums.
My apologies. I'm gonna go ahead and cut in right now because we got a message from Fish Slayer SoCal. Send mines to all. Thumbs up.
That's right, too.
Well, that's racking.
That's the broskies right there. What's up,
boy.
baby? Yeah. We're going to have to give him a holler tomorrow.
Yeah, so I wanted to let you know, Fish Slayer, if you tuned in, just a lady didn't catch it, but Jesse's a metrosexual now. Yeah, he's always been.
Yeah. Apparently, I like nice clothes and taking care of my body, so that makes me a metrosexual by today's standards.
It does. It does. Well, you've been for a long time, apparently.
Oh,
not by today's standards. That was also yesterday's standards and the standards before that,
Yeah, but I never knew that it was. I never knew that.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Whatever happened to being a man who likes to take care of himself? Now there's got to be some sexual undertone.
Metrosexual.
Yeah, metrosexual. That makes it sound like I'm just being sexual in metropolitan areas.
Hey, do me a favor and research. Like I don't have the access to the dictionary that it would take to come up with metropolitan areas.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have access.
Oh, matter of fact, it's the opposite. It says urban man.
And you are urban. You are of the city.
Yeah, urban.
Yeah,
I thought metropolitan was the city.
No, it says urban heterosexual.
Yeah.
Men that. But would a woman can't be metrosexual? Does that work like that? Is that just like a?
That sounds sexist right there to me. I don't feel like my people would be protected right now.
Yeah, his gender. They're attacking his gender right now, and he's freaking out. No, so, and then this all started, James. This all started over fat burners. So Jesse, he's a man of many diets. He does. He comes in. He's like, Dave, I'm done with sweets. Dave, I'm done with breakfast. Dave, I'm done with dinner. Dave, I'm done with lunch. Dave, I'm done with rice bowls. Dave, burritos out. Dave,
every day
I'm going on granolas. Dave, I'm taking fat burners. Dave, let's drink super greens. This is something that I used to be terrified at first. The first time he came in here and said, Dave, I'm done with sweets, I was like, cool, because now I could just get all the sweets for myself because we usually split them, So I was like, that was actually good news, but I realized that he wasn't serious when he popped open a sweet while he was talking about this. This is my last sweet, Dave. This is my last one. This is my last
straight drug addict. I'm going to stop eating sweets on Monday. It's not hurting anybody but me.
That's him. So then, right? Then when he said, Dave, burritos are out, man, I can't eat burritos no more. So I was terrified, honestly. It shook me to the core. I sent a chill down my spine. And so I had to think about what I was going to do with my life, you know, and it didn't last. So now Jesse's on. He's going to subscribe to Fat Burners. He's really thinking. Jesse's not a big dude. Like Jesse's, you know, he's got a little weight on him, but he's not by no means fat or chunky or nothing like that, you know. But he works out, he exercises, you know, he does his thing. But he, for some reason, needs fat burners. Wants fat burners. He wants to burn his fat. I don't even know what fat burners are supposed to do. But they're going to burn your fat. Is that what it is?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. With a name like Fat Burner, I'm hoping, but I also hear it might be bad for your heart.
Yeah, but what if fat burners, like, where's it going to go?
I don't know. We're going to
sweat it out.
Yeah, we're going to do some research on it.
You're going to just melt it and you're going to let your skin hang. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be doing video calls with Jesse for a while.
I'll be too busy eating fat burners and plucking my eyebrows.
Yeah, and then they mentioned, like, okay, well, you know, metrosexuals, you know, like they, you know, like, you know, look, I'm hygienic. I do have a cool little goatee, and I've set the picture. You know, yeah, who wants a unibrow? Yeah, you got the picture, James. You've seen how I am. You know, I'm just straightforward. Across the board.
Picture, I'm hot.
Yeah. What do you call it? I'm hot guy fit.
Yeah.
Hey, but this is the thing. Would I pluck my eyebrows? I just don't see a purpose of me plucking my eyebrows.
No.
I just don't. Like, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing.
That's when you've gone too far.
I just don't know where that stops. Like, when am I gonna? I'm gonna have that. I could see myself giving myself like an Ice Cube eyebrow. You know that eyebrow that kind of shoots up a little bit and it curves back down to the right.
Okay.
Like, I want one of those.
We'll work on that today.
I want one of those.
Do
you know what eyebrow? Or it's a rock. Imagine getting like that mock eyebrows. You know, one of our Johnson. It's kind of up a little bit and shoot down. What do you think, James?
Hey, right now that you're talking about eyebrows, what did you think about that video I sent you about that dude that had that Sharpie beard going on?
Oh man, that was great. Did I show it to you? No, I showed you the Sharpie beard.
You did not show me the Sharpie. He's gonna pull it up right now. I didn't show you. See, Jesse gets all the fun stuff. No, I got a video of Hoser.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you got the Hoser video.
I got the Hoser video. You know.
Yeah, that's Hoser. I know that fool right there. That was my boy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That shit blows me away. That shit blows me away to see that's where he's at already. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I told you that, remember? One morning, you were probably still in a coma.
That's probably what it was. This is the first time I've seen it. Is that whole beard made out of Sharpie?
Looks like.
Hey, that's a pretty nice beard right there.
I'm going to Sharpie mine up.
Oh, yeah. Look at that thing. That thing's immaculate, huh?
Hey, hold on. I'm
going to have to get me one of those.
I'm going to have to show these to the viewers. I'm going to have to put it on the screen over here on my other phone so they could.
You're going to have to, man, because the viewers are probably wondering what the heck we're talking about. And let me tell you right now, that guy is metrosexual.
Yeah, if he went to that extent.
If he Sharpied his beard down, like he qualifies. And look, this is a very elite group now of metrosexuals. You know, if this is what we are, and Jesse and I are a part of this.
Te queda un restante de 60 segundos.
We're going to need to see his credentials.
Yeah. When you know who put him in the club.
Who put him in the club?
Hey, and somebody recognized him. Somebody dropped a comment. They were like, "Hey, that's what was it? I forgot his name, but somebody recognized him from out there in Connecticut. So that was definitely a trip."
That's cool. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's a superstar animal.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give you a call back right now, James.
Okay, for sure. For sure. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, so let me see. Snow, wait, laughing out loud. Did he Sharpie his beard? Hey, Snow, you weren't on that day when we saw that guy? Lovely Gigi says, he says, I'm gonna Sharpie my beard in. Oh man, you missed it that day. If you go to my profile, I got it. I clipped it into a video. As a matter of fact, that day I think we were on for like 4.5 hours. That video I downloaded it. I'm gonna upload it onto the account. I'm gonna break it up into sections so you guys could check it out. Man, the comments were killing me that day.
This call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta
Cinco.
llamada, diga gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Yeah, what happened?
So we have one of the viewers on the TT side, and she says, she put laughing out loud. The hell that happened there? And I was like, you weren't on there that day that we saw that hearing? And then lovely Gigi writes, I was watching that parole hearing with the Sharpie guy. Man, it was hilarious. He had me rolling. He definitely had a good time, with all the comments and that I was putting out and the ones that people were making on the chat that day.
Yeah, and reminded me of my ex homeboy who I told you that fool penciled his hair in the county to go to court. You know what I mean? Like he didn't want to. His hair was kind of thinning out a little bit, and he did like Rudy Giuliani. He started sweating on the bus. He had pencil lead running down his face. Like what's going on in your weird ass mind that you think that that's even an option?
Hey,
Get a pencil in your head.
Did he do that because he was trying to cover up some tattoos, or what was the reason behind him?
Yeah, because he was trying to grow his hair because he had my water on the back of his head, and he has tattoos on his head. He's trying to grow his hair for court, because they were trying to get him on smoke crimes or whatever. And so he's just trying to go to court looking a little more presentable, and so figured, okay, I can, darken in the little hair that I do have with this pencil lead. Maybe they won't see the tattoo on the back of my head, and that'll help me out, yeah, straight bozo.
Hey,
Bozo. I seen him on the bus, and I was just like, really? This is what life's become for you? At that point, it's time to just give in and be like, fuck it, give me life. You know what I mean? You walk around, you walk around with pencil lead, pencil in your hair, fool. You might as well just give it up.
Hey,
like
did it work?
Court today and admit to being an idiot.
Did it work? Did he beat the case?
I'm gonna tell you this. You know what I mean? Even though I'm sitting here talking shit, yep, that sorry ass fool ended up beating his murder. He went home.
Damn.
Yep. Another one of my homeboys ended up getting life behind it. So I don't know how he did it, to be honest with you, but definitely he's definitely suspect. But I don't know exactly how he did it, to be honest with you, because I do know that he was one of the shooters. I just don't know exactly what happened, but I know that he beat the case. I left long before they actually ended up going to trial, but I do know one thing that yeah, he got out. So who knows?
Hey, it was a pencil. It worked, man. Everybody I'm pretty sure was busting up on the bus, and that helped him beat it. They couldn't recognize him.
Yep. Which is weird, but hey, I mean, it worked for him and it worked for Sharpie guys. So who knows? I can't grow a full beard on my face either, so maybe I should start penciling in.
Hey, so Sharpie guy got paroled?
Yeah. I think he did. I gotta go back and look at it, but man, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they were gonna parole him. But you know what? I think he was gonna have to wait until March or February before they would parole him. Dígales, hola, mama.
Hey, was he there on some weird stuff too?
No, he was not. He was surprisingly he was in there for like, I don't know if it was sales or something, but I know they were on his bumper because he had evaded paying restitution and not paying his child support.
Oh, that makes sense. That's another thing they're sweating over here in California right now.
Yep, restitution.
Anybody who's got a loved one in prison, doing life in prison, that's going to be going before the board, and they're asking you to send money to somewhere else, you might want to remind them, hey, check this out. You ever trying to get out of prison, if you're sending money to somebody else, it's coming out right now in these parole hearings.
Yep, a lot of people are getting their board dates taken for that.
Yep.
Or getting denied over that.
So you might want to consider that. I know for a long time, we avoided our restitution because taking responsibility was just not in our nature. But the reality of it is that the victims, they have that coming, and it's time to start paying them that restitution. And for those of you that think that you're going to beat the system and get out of prison and not pay them, well, you're going to get out of prison. It's going to come out of your check, But if you're sending money to other people, they're running a full investigation on anybody going to board. So if you're sending money to your loved one, you're sending it to another name or something, know that that's going to come back and bite them in the ass later.
Yep. So let me explain to the viewers how this all works, right? The whole process. So, like I mentioned earlier, I came to prison owing $18,000 in restitution. That money, what that means is that half of everything that I get from my loved ones is going to be applied towards the restitution, and I get whatever the other half is, and that's all I can get to go to store with. So, generally, when I came to prison, I would look for people who didn't.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I did it because in my mind during that time I was like, you know what, I'm the victim. I was thinking like the victim. Well, the world is against me. They got it wrong. The jury was wrong. Everybody was wrong but me. And that was a bad state of mind to be thinking in, because I wasn't taking responsibility for why I was here, and I wasn't honoring the life that was taken, by my hand. So any chance I got to circumvent the system, I did it. Being with drugs, gangs, phones, whatever I could have got my hands on. The last thing that I would have done was applied money to the system. So I found people to put money on their books. And usually how that worked was, for every 100 that I put on their books, I got to pay 20 to the guy. And in my mind, I was like, well, I'd rather pay somebody 20 so that I could spend 80 than, pay the state 50. Pay the state 50, and then I can go 50.
It's 50 now. Before
I was 55. It was 55. So really, realistically, I would go 45 out of 100, $45, and then the state would get $55. So I did it every chance I can get, and my wife had talked to me, and she told me, look, man, we have to start paying this down. This is going to be something that is going to affect us possibly when you get out, something that affect the things that we need to do financially, as far as buying a home and making sure that our kids can go to college. And
it's like having a lien on your name.
Yeah, so she spoke to me about it, and I'm not saying that after that I was 100% across the board, but I was paying it down. My family was helping to pay it down, and every once in a while, like if I got low on stuff on my shelf, I would go on somebody else's books. But I've realized that it's not even, that's still taken away from the victim. It's still taken away from the things that they got coming. So I don't do it. Whatever I get, they get half, and that's what it is.
Hey, James, so what do you think the restitution fine I can put on Dave, because he got me walking around looking like Bert and Ernie right now?
Oh, yeah, I got to talk to you about that, too.
He got me looking like Bart Simpson.
That's
very important.
That's gonna have to be 6 cases of soups, but they're gonna have to be chili lime sopas. They can't be the regular one, because that's a hot commodity right there. I heard there might be a shortage, so we need that. We're also gonna need the what do you call it, the jalapeno, the Schneider's jalapeno pretzels.
Pretzels?
Yeah. That was a mandatory.
The thing is that you
go ahead.
So you're dealing with a couple metrosexuals now, right? And so chili lime sopas are out. Chili lime sopas are out. That's not bougie enough.
That's bad for my physique.
Now we only eat buldak soups. How do you even pronounce it? It's so bougie, I can't even pronounce it. It's buldak?
The buldak.
So buldak soups are like $1 soups.
They're like $1.60.
Yeah, that's an expensive soup right there.
Yeah.
That's a quality noodle right there, James. You need to get yourself informed.
James, so yesterday, go ahead.
I never heard of them.
Yeah, they got them in Walking Horse now. They're some Asian soup, super spicy though. They're like crazy hot. Most people can't even eat them because they're super hot. You know what I mean? But
they put sweat on my forehead yesterday.
Yeah, we actually had sweat on the forehead. We eat a lot of chili right here. We eat a lot of spice. We're gonna end up having ulcers when we become of age.
It's true.
But so yesterday, James, I went for tattoo removal, right? And I, my hair is actually pretty long. You really can't tell because I have it combed back, but it's actually real long. Like if I let it fall to the side, it comes all the way down like past my ears, or not, like probably like the middle of my ears.
Yeah, it was long.
And so I said, yesterday I said we got this new clip. It's a six clip, and the highest number we had before was a 4, and I was never willing to commit to a 4 because I was just too short. But I told Dave, I said, because we have to go whenever I go for tattoo removal, because I have tattoo on that covers the whole back of my head. I have to go real high on the fade. Dave's been going real high, and we've been pretty much salvaging most of my hair. I just have to walk around for a couple of weeks looking kind of silly because I go real high, but I keep the top real long, you know. And but I told Dave, you know what? Let's just go ahead and hit it with this 6 on top, and I'm going to start over again. Let's see what it looks like, you know. But because my hair, unless it's long enough, it doesn't lay down. My hair kind of puffs up a little bit, so it puffs up and it's kind of spiky. So right now I got the little Bart Simpson, the freaking Bert from Sesame Street look.
It's an impossible task, but I somehow do it. I'm a good barber. That's just what it is. Jesse comes to me with an impossible task, right? This indio on the back of his head is freaking huge. It's huge. It goes all the way up down there to the, you know, almost to where the top of his head starts. The I and the O. And so I have to somehow start the fade line right there at that spot. You don't start the fade line right there, James. You start the fade line like probably at ear level. The top of your ears, that's kind of like the highest that you really want to start the fade line, because you got to get that out. You know, you have to fade up and get it out, and it has to blend. So I'm starting it, not even, you know how high this fade line is? I'm looking at it right now. The fade line is easily 1.5 inches above his ear. 1.5 inches above his ear.
So if you pull up a picture from Sesame Street and you see Bert, that's what my hair looks like right now. Hey, Bert.
Yep. So I have to do it that high, and then I still got to kind of fade it out. So, I mean, there's really no room to start. So then we hit it down with the number, you know, because I left his hair long before. We hit it down with the number 6, and his hair does not lay down like mine does. His hair is popped up. Like this guy right here, the first time that I looked at him, right, when the fade was done, I asked him seriously, what's your sole purpose in this army, Gump? Hey, straightforward. Just, he looks like
a full-blown Marine.
He does. He does.
If I was, I'd be a Navy SEAL. So, yeah.
Yep. That's what he looks like. So he's got this, he's walking around looking like he's got an eraser on the top of his head.
Hey.
It'll be back, so I'll be normal.
Yeah.
I'll be normal in a couple of weeks.
What's up?
So for the tattoo removal that you were just speaking about, are they going to do it on your head? And if they do it on your head, does it affect your hair follicles?
Hey, crazy. We asked the same question.
Yep, we asked the exact same question. Before it even started on my head, because I had been doing my arms and my hands and stuff like that, I was taking that stuff off, but I hadn't done my head yet for that reason right there, because I wasn't too sure what it was going to do to my hair and this and that, you know, because it's the same thing as laser hair removal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they said, no, I guess the way they run the laser or whatever, that it's all good, you know. So I've already done, this is my 4th session on my head and my 5th session on everything else. And to be honest with you, I see very little difference to me, but it's actually starting to take effect, you know.
Yeah, it's lightened up.
It's lightened up.
It's lightened up, but it's still there. And how many sessions you said? Like 5 sessions already?
Yeah, it's 5 for my hands and my arms, and it's a 4 for my head.
You would think 4 sessions on the back of his head, it would be lighter than it is.
For sure.
You know, it's just not that light.
Yep. So I'm thinking I'm going to need my money back.
He just goes in there and gets cooked every month.
Yeah.
It burns his skin every month, and I don't see really that much of a difference.
Yeah, they're sizzling us. It's getting a little easier, though.
But you know what? It's I suppose that it's harder for it to come off of your skin because you're lighter, opposed to somebody that was darker. You would probably see the difference on a darker person than somebody that's as white as you. What do you guys?
Some of these guys. No, that's true, because some of these guys like Ricky.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Some of the guys yesterday, their tattoos are actually looking like super light. You know what I mean? So I think that might be the case too, because I got that glow in the dark skin.
Mm-hmm.
I got that high yellow skin.
Yeah.
So that might have something to do with it. That
does.
That and
I think that's what adds to the Bart Simpson look, huh?
Yeah.
The fact that you are yellow.
That I look yellow, yeah, like Bart.
Hey, I got a question on
Okay.
here from Firewolf on from the TT
Yep.
side, and they write Bert or Ernie.
Fire Wolf. Definitely Bert.
Bert, yeah,
100%.
with the little hair on top, with the cone head, with the hair on top, with just a little spiky hair on top.
Felipe looks identical to Ernie.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling
So
you.
me and Felipe next to each other look like Bert and Ernie.
Yep.
Hey, Bert.
I'm gonna give you a call back right now, James.
All right, for sure, for
Give you a
sure.
call back. Yep.
All right, and anybody that's listening to these guys, if you jump over to our other platform, which is the red logo with white triangle inside of it, if you go to at collect call from and you go to playlist, you could listen to their whole life journey, from their earliest memory as a kid and their their childhood, school, their home, the home dynamics, and to where they're at now. And with David and Jesse, we had multiple sessions over many days, and they shared a lot of their lives. So for those of you that are curious to hear who they are and what got them there, I would strongly suggest to jump over and
This
check
call
it
is
out.
now
Este
being
es Global
recorded.
Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's up? Hey, yeah. What's up?
I want to read up this
Yeah.
comment. So we have a comment from Lovely Gigi, and she wrote, you know how you guys were talking about the restitution? She put, just for my son to get 300, I have to put 600 a month for his store.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. They're killing them. They're killing the restitution. But I mean, and that's like I said, the victims have that coming. I just don't think it's fair to the families. What they should be doing is giving us real jobs in here that we can actually work, to earn wages that are, enough to actually pay our restitution.
Yeah, we could pay it down, and we're doing the work. Like we're not just going to work and
Sitting
lazing around. Like we go there, we interview. Sometimes they give us like if we want a job that we want, we have to interview and we get it. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. But the jobs that they assign to us, like they'll put you in a messed up job, man. Like the kitchen is notoriously a screwed up job in prison. That's just where, man, that place is. It smells in there. You're stuck in there. There's a lot of bickering and arguing. A lot of fights happen in there. Dudes in there all freaking whacked out on whatever the hell they're on. It's an ugly job. When somebody gets a kitchen job, they're like, oh hell no. Yard crew job is cool. It's all right, but it's another one of them jobs. Porter. I think a porter would be the worst job to get. To be honest with you. The problem with the porters is you're just stuck in the building all the time. A porter is a person who works inside of the building. It's like a church hander. That's what we call them. And the thing is people, when you're out there and you're moving around, remember you're out there when people are in the cells. So people depend on the porters a lot for all kinds of stuff. The thing is when people are doing things they're not supposed to be doing, and there's a porter out on the chair, they're the first people that they're going to ask. Like, hey, do me a favor. Can you stop by? Can you go pick up this over here? Can you drop this kite off over here? Homeboy's got something from you over there. Can you go grab that? And you put yourself in it puts you in a situation where you have to tell people no.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
There's guys that like for instance, I was a MAC rep out there, which means I was like an inmate representative, and I didn't mess around at that time. Like I had already stopped messing around, and when I was out there, the guys would call me to the door and be like, hey, what's up? Do me a favor, can you go pick up this from, pick up some Suboxone or go pick up some drugs from somebody? And I would tell them no. Like, hey, I don't mess around, man. I don't want to know nothing about that. Just leave me out of it. It's none of my business. And they get mad. Like some of them fools, they run their mouth. They'll say something crazy like from behind the door, They'll be like, oh, you freaking scary ass, or you're this and you're that. And it's like, I came out of pocket on a few people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's when I realized that I shouldn't really be out there in that position because my temperament wasn't as good as it is now. It's barely getting there, you know, where I can tolerate it. But by then I was doing good. But if somebody said something to me like that dude told me, like, he's all, that's scary, you know, and I was like, what you say, you fucking punk? You know, like right off the bat. Yeah, like that's how I got at him, you know. Like, what's cracking? You think you're hard? Let me get the door cracked for you. I got juice like that. You know, boom, I'll hit the door, get the door open, and what's up? And the thing is I don't want to be in those situations, and I don't want to be in those positions, you know? Like, so I removed myself from that position because I realized, you know, I'm going to end up hurting somebody out here. But when you're a porter, that's your assignment. That's your job assignment. There's no, from the moment you go out in the morning, you go out after breakfast, you start cleaning, people are going to be yelling your name. You know, come here, come there, you know? And it just causes problems, you know? It's the same thing like with yard crew. If you're out there on the yard crew, well, you have access to the buildings on the split tier, so people are going to be like, they're going to want you to go take stuff into the buildings, and it's just a giant headache, you know. That's why I like working in the clerk jobs. I like being a clerk because it's pretty much there's not too much action, so people kind of just leave you alone, you know.
A lot less liabilities for those that are doing the right thing, and a big part of navigating these environments and staying out of trouble is recognizing high-risk situations, and it's going to be the same way when we return to society. You gotta see something for what it is and be like, okay, you know what, I got to remove myself from the situation, or you know what, I'm not going to get in the car with this individual, or I'm not going to go here, you know. It's the same thing in here. When you're out there with certain specific jobs, it's like, no, I'm good. You know, I'm not going to do this job because it's a liability for me. But unfortunately, in prison, you don't get to just refuse your work. If you don't do your work, you know, that work that you're making 8 cents an hour, whatever it is, you know, they'll write you up, you know. But fortunately for us, you know, we got a pretty good network in here that, you know, when you got somebody that's doing the right thing, and if he knows it's a high-risk situation job, it's easy, you know, you should get a job change or get out the way, you know. Like that's like when David got here, you know, I put him in my job and I went to another job because I knew it'd be a good job for him, you know.
Yep, I work in the library every once in a while. Like, people come in there and they, you know, they're on these crusades. They'll be like on these they'll be on like the fuck the cops crusades, or they'll be like, oh well, the 602 crusades and stuff. And I just don't get involved with that. But it's easy, you know. I just tell them I don't know anything about that, and that usually solves that, you know. They'll be like, hey, what about this? You know how to do these lawsuits? I mean, honestly, I just work here, man. Yeah, I don't know that. I'm actually a librarian. I deal with the books, man. You know, I don't know about that. You know, let me call my coworker. That's jacked up. I'll put that shit on him. You know, that guy knows everything.
Yeah, he knows all the rules.
If he tells you no, he's lying.
Let me go get him. Let me go get him.
Go get this guy that knows everything you're saying. I'm out of here. Yes.
Hey, so do you help people, since you work in the law library, do you help people file, you know, any motions or petitions, you know, to try to get back into court?
No. So what I usually do is I'm more informative. Like I don't want to help anybody do that because I don't want to be responsible for somebody getting denied because of something that I did, you know, or didn't do.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful about that. So all I do is I'm aware of their options. They come in, they're like, hey, I want to do this, this, and this. I'm like, all right, well, these are the forms. And sometimes they'll look at me like, okay, well, what do I write right here? I'll be like, hey, well, what is your circumstance? You know, you tell me.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell people, like, basically don't overthink it too much. They're like, oh, well, this happened, and this happened, you know, so I get to go down on that, right? I'm like, well, I don't know, you tell me. You know, you're telling me that these things happened, so you would think that you had a very good idea of what to write in that box. It's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah. They're like, hey, the judge did this, the attorney...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
That's what they say. Yeah, yeah. The judge did this. The attorneys did that. They didn't do this. Okay, well, that's the first thing that I would put in that box. They're like, well, what do I write here? Well, it says your name, right? Yeah, but what about where it says the court? What court do I put? I mean, where did you go to court?
Yeah.
Hey.
Come on, Doug. Once you hire an attorney.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward,
Sounds like he's looking for an attorney and not a law library clerk.
Go ahead.
We just got a message from Fish Layer SoCal, and he writes, going to step out. I'm working on restoring a quad YFZ450. I can't wait to get it back together. Looking forward to talking with Jesse and David tomorrow. So you guys got a pending phone call for tomorrow.
Yes, we do. We got it on the board right here.
Yep, we send ours to them. That's the old school, the YFZ 450s. I haven't heard that in a long time. That's an older quad right there. Those ones got the balls.
Yeah, Jesse likes those things.
I'm going to have to roost that bad boy when I get there. But definitely we're going to call him tomorrow.
Yep.
It's always good to have him here. He's off the water this weekend, but he's also doing something else fun, getting the bike together.
We're just going to stay until 2 anyway. Yep. So that's cool, man, that you stopped by. Yep. Talk to you tomorrow, my boy. Yep, Thank you for everything you did for our boy Blue, man, and for everything you're doing for us.
Yep. He's out there making us shine.
Yep.
That's right.
Hey, so let me ask you guys something. So, with the connections that you guys have made through, doing this joint venture on collect, you have a collect call from, what kind of doors has this opened up for you guys?
Well, I ended up at a Diddy party. I don't know
if he called me one night hog-tied, with a ball gag in his mouth and a leather mask over his face.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, Jess, I'm gonna freak off.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I can let him talk. I'm gonna freak off. He's talking around the ball.
And I'm like, you're gonna have to bring me up, bring the Suburban. No, bring the Suburban for all the baby oil I stole.
Hey, you know what?
But hurry up, because P Diddy's making his way down the line. I think he's gonna start beating on me next.
Yeah, it's just P Diddy guys looking at me real sideways. Jesse, I think I'm his type.
Yeah. I showed up for the women, and I ended up becoming P Diddy's party.
Hey,
that's pretty much what.
They were saying that that baby oil actually was something else. That it was some type of liquid to put somebody under the influence, or some type of like GHB type of substance.
No shit.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Imagine if they tested that and it was 1,000 bottles of GHB or whatever the hell that'd be nuts. Oh yeah, he'd be done then.
That's crazy. I need to find out who his connect is. I don't need 1,000, but I definitely settle out of court for a couple Henny.
I don't know who that took. Yeah, I called this guy for that GHB baby oil, and he just said, look, man, there's always room for Jell-O. I'm not sure who that guy is, man, but, sounds mighty familiar.
Hey, my wife just walked in. My wife just walked in, and she looked at me. She says, you look happy. And I had to stop smiling.
You can't be looking that happy around her. She's going to think we're stealing you from her.
Yeah, try to keep them out of New York at 2 a.m.
Yeah. But no. With respect to your question, though, we've absolutely we've generated some good friends. We've gotten back in contact with some old friends.
Yep.
We've gotten awesome job opportunities. Awesome. We're working on a research paper through one university. We've found some awesome people through this channel. We've met people that we never would have had the other opportunity to meet otherwise. And so it's crazy. It's been awesome. And
yep. If you were to wrap all this up, James, today, you can honestly say, hey, man, I made a difference in people's lives. You've actually changed lives. We were there. We were listening. As our boy went and signed those papers, for his new job. With somebody that we met on this podcast, and it's amazing. It's amazing what you've done. You've given us a voice to the world. You've made changes in our lives, you know. And I think about it like there's times where even today, you know, I'm playing basketball and I get, you know, when I was having my Hall of Fame day, my amazing basketball play. And I just wanted to put that out there a little bit, you know. But now when I was out there and I got roughed up a little bit, you know, my job is to be a big man, but I got roughed up a little. But I think about our viewers. I thought about my boy L Iceman. I did. It was crazy that he crossed my mind, and it was almost like if I can hear his voice, you know, like just let it go. It's not worth it, you know. And it's crazy because he had mentioned stuff before, like I just worry about David's temper sometimes and stuff, you know. And that is a worry, but I felt genuine concern. You know, I would hate to, you know, I did.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
And I let it go. That affected me. It impacted me.
Part of what makes what we do in here is we have a support network that we're held accountable to, and now the listeners are also a part of that. You know, we have people on here that have faith in us, that have hope in us, you know, and are providing opportunities and friendships and things of that nature. And so it's like how David said, he wouldn't want to let them down. He wouldn't want, you know.
None of the listeners, none of the viewers, you, James, nobody. Like, you guys believe in us enough to spend this time with us. You guys spend hours with us weekly.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, when you heard Iceman's voice in your head, did he sound like Morgan Freeman when he said "Let it go"?
More like Edward James Olmos from American Meat.
Yeah, it had more of the American Meat.
Hey, homito. Hey, homito.
Oh man. So for anybody that's just tuning in right now, this is live collect calls from Centinela State Prison, D Yard Level 3, and we currently have David and Jesse on the phone, on the cable, on the jack, and they are Sellies. And anybody that wants to listen to their backstory, I would say you know, definitely check them out on one of the other major platforms, the one with the red icon and the white little triangle. Look up at Collect Call, and then go to playlist and look up David and Jesse, and you can hear their backstories. All right, they're calling right back.
This call is now being
Global
recorded.
Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Yeah. So we lost track of the 60 seconds. But hey, no, I think he sounds more like James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. How you want to do the Iceman like that?
James Earl Jones, man.
Darth Vader. Darth Vader?
Yep, that's him.
Dave, I am your father.
Papa, don't go. Yep. Yeah, so this is gonna be our last phone call, right, James? Because you gotta go. You got yourself an appointment.
Yeah, I got a family party at 2:00, so we're actually gonna be showing up late. I told my lady, well, like, hey, I was like, is there any possibility that we could leave at 2? Because we're supposed to leave like at around 1, so we could be there at 2 because we got to drive across town. And then she was like, yeah, sure. She told me sure, but with like that look, like, man, like you and these damn phone calls, you and these damn collect calls.
Hey, let me tell you this, right? All right, so does she still feel the same way about the taffy that I called Felipe's daddy?
I'm very sure she does. If I bring her in here right now and ask her, she's probably gonna look at me crazy and tell me the same response she did last time.
We were a little miffed by that.
Hey, yeah, we are. And just tell her, look, what do you have against Felipe's daddy?
Or his uncle.
Uncle Touchy, that's what we call Jesse. We call him Uncle Touchy. What do you have against Felipe's daddy and Uncle Touchy? So,
hey,
no, this is
we just had Des show up Hey, Des, how's it going? And you know,
Des,
my prayers and our heart goes out to you.
Des,
Always.
we're thinking about you, Des. We're so glad that you're on here. We mentioned earlier to the viewers that you know you're in our prayers. We're thinking about you, and we want you to keep fighting, Des.
All good
Never
vibes
give up,
and
never
strength.
give in.
Yep, all good vibes and strength and prayers being sent your way, man. You're a trooper. You've been fighting this long. Don't give up. You know what I mean? You got a good thing in your life right now. You know, you got them kids, they need you. You got Felipe, he needs you. We need you. You're a part of this. You're part of this orbit
Part of
now.
our family now.
And so, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, man. You got this. You know what I mean? Like it's like I was saying the other day when I talked to you, that, you know, women got a whole different level of strength than any man ever could have. You know, and all you got to do is just continue to tap into that, keep fighting, and understand that you're needed right here. You know what I mean? And you know, the doctors can say one thing, but we've seen it. I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, my wife fought cancer, you know, rigorously. It wasn't easy. You know what I mean? And she came out of it. You know, and so it's always possible. Even when they say there's this chance or that chance or whatever it is, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about the fight and the person. You know. And so just keep doing what you're doing, man. You got this.
And I don't know if Des knows that I named it Taffy, Felipe's daddy.
Uh-oh.
It was crazy because we mentioned Felipe's name like 3 times, and usually he'll show up, but Des popped up.
I think the signals might have got crossed up.
Yeah, he might have got crossed up. Usually you say Felipe's name 3 times, he shows up like Beetlejuice. like damn.
Yeah.
Starts messing stuff up. But yeah, because I know Felipe's he's really struggling too. He's having a hard time with your news, Des. And, you know, I promise I won't beat him like he stole something, but I'm not going to promise not to beat him.
Yeah, he'll get off lightly because of what you're going through.
It'll be a light beating. No weapons.
No way.
No chanclas.
Yeah, no chanclas, no huaraches, no fly swatters, no matamoscas.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Yeah, but nah, Des is in our thoughts, man. So what else was I going to tell you? I was about to tell you something right now, James. I completely spaced it, man. But you know, we just want to give a shout out to everybody out there, man. All of our viewers, everybody who listens, especially my special someone, my beautiful wife. She is my rock. Hey, we go through some shit, James. Being incarcerated, you know, and being married, it's not easy. It's very difficult. It's a difficult thing, you know, because there's so many things that we need from each other that these walls, you know, keep us apart, you know. And so we push forward. We're committed. But yeah, it's not easy.
Being in a prison relationship is a dynamic that until you're in one, you will never truly be able to understand on either side. But I definitely believe it's a lot harder for those out there than it is in here. You know, and that's why the relationships that do make it through this, you know, those are the ones that definitely need to be cherished.
No, it's true, you know, and I trip out because, you know, my wife, you know, we're you know, I didn't meet her while I was incarcerated. You know, I met her, you know, I was out there with her, and she doesn't know nothing about prison, you know, and she was like, I'm going to do this with you. We're going to do it. I'm like, you understand that I got like 40 years. She's like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not going to pretend to like it. This is, you know, she goes, but I don't believe you're going to be in there that long. And it's crazy because ever since she said that, just things started happening with my case, you know, where time just starts getting cut down, board dates just, you know, it's getting closer and closer. And I went to court on Thursday, James, but it got put off again until February. So I'll keep you informed, you know, and these are these laws that, you know, that passed that gave me an opportunity to go back to court.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I was given a consecutive 25 to life. That's why I have 2 life sentences. You know, I got the 15 to life for the crime, and then I got an additional 25 to life ran consecutive for use of a firearm. So that use of a firearm, well, they actually gave me 2 more years for coming to prison for nonviolent offenses before. So those 2 prior prison years is what got me back into court. So, You know, they could take off that gun enhancement. They take off that gun enhancement. I'll go to board in a year. You know, and it's crazy to think about. It's like, man, you know, what if I do go home in a year?
So let me ask you.
I got to make sure that.
I got a question about that. So I thought that you have to, if you got sentenced to 25 to life, that you would go to the board at the 25-year mark. From what you're saying, if they change your sentence, how does that work as far as advancing your parole date?
Well, because so for the 187, I got 15 to life.
Oh, okay.
So there's no changing that. So I got 15 to life for that crime.
Yeah.
It was second degree.
That's the base term.
That's my base term.
Okay.
So on top of that, once I'm done with the 15 to life, then I have to serve the 25 to life.
Oh, okay. So that's how you got 40.
25.
So you got 15 for the second degree, and then you got 25 for a gun enhancement, which makes it 40 years, and then you got the 2-year prison priors, which 42 years. But you got that knocked off, so right now you're at 40, and if you get the gun enhancement dropped off, then that makes sense now.
Yep. If the gun enhancement gets knocked off, now they could reduce it though. They can put it to 10 years. They can take it off completely. But they could reduce it to 10 years. Or they can leave it at 25 to life. So that's what they're deciding in court right now. So based on the way that I've been doing my time and the way that I've been programming my education and, you know, just positive living in here, that gives them an opportunity to reduce that gun enhancement. So will it happen? I mean, it's possible. So if that happens, there's no more time to do, with the exception of what I owe on the 187. Which isn't much, you know, that's almost done. I've been in for over 14 years. So, you know, that's over 14 years off of, what are we at? We're in September?
Yeah.
We're in
September, right?
About to start October.
So where are we at? What's the date today?
The 28th.
28th?
Yeah.
So on the 20th was my 14 years. You know? So, yeah, it's crazy. I don't even pay attention to that. Yeah, on September 20th, I got incarcerated in 2010. So I've been in for 14 years. So I'm literally, I have one more year, and then the base term is done. Yeah.
Man.
It's crazy because it seems like it's short, though, you know, like, damn, I haven't been in that long. You know, it's only been 14 years. But, man, 14 years is a long time.
It is, man. 14 years was 2010. I was still living in LA, struggling, living with my mom, and it wasn't looking like I wasn't gonna be able to afford to move out anytime soon. But you know, things change, and you know, I'm in a different place. You guys are in a different place.
It's crazy, Jess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse's 23 years. Think about what you were doing 23 years ago.
Man,
23 years ago, I was in prison.
23 years
I wasn't
ago,
doing much.
I was my last time hitting county jail, and never been back ever since.
No, that's
smart
good, man. Yep, smart man.
Definitely got to commend you for that.
Yeah, I was in prison. You know, I was in prison from 18 years old. I came into prison in 2000, and then, you know, I was just running amok for a while. Yep, and then that was that. You know, got out a few times, did parole violations, and then picked up life in 2010. Yep.
Well,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy how everything transpires, you know. But yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up though, but because I know you got to get on the road. The call's about to end.
Yep. Definitely want to send a shout out to all the listeners, everybody that tuned in today. You know, all our regulars. You know, Bruce Willis, Lex Luke, Fish SoCal, the Slayer, the Fish Slayer. Iceman, I don't know if Iceman checked in today, but
we would have heard. Iceman.
Yeah, we would have heard from the Iceman.
But especially Casey Fan _.
Oh yeah, Casey's been pretty faithful.
Lone Star Media.
Yep, and like we said last time, if any of you guys want to try some of the taffy that we sent to James, hit him up.
Yeah. Oh, is that Felipe?
That's Felipe at the door. You hear him?
Yeah, we could hear him.
Felipe's at the front. He's going to shut the water off till Monday. He's out of his mind. He's shutting our water off till Monday.
Hell fucking no. Hell no.
He's shut our toilet off till Monday. He shut your toilet off.
Tell us to get some earplugs.
Bumped his head. Yeah, he bumped his head.
Some earplugs. Better get some earplugs.
That's the thing. There ain't no maintenance here. Hold on. We're going to have this conversation in a minute. Give us a minute. We're going to sign off right now. Hey, Dez is on here. Dez is on here.
Dad said you need to behave.
Dez told me to beat you like you stole something. Hey, I'm just saying.
Hey, Big Mama said we got to do it. We got to do it.
We got to do what we got to do. Dez called it.
Calling the collective.
Fuck we are. Turn our water off till Monday. He bumped his head.
Hey, he's tripping. Hell nah.
Yeah, so.
If you wasn't up all night flushing your toilet through the middle of the night, you wouldn't be flushing. And he would have to sleep like a civilized human
And
being.
he giggles in there all night like a little leprechaun.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know he's up there keeping his girl Des, company and stuff. But he's like, man, this fool. I was like, the way he laughs, I was like, hey, your girl, man, needs to be on Comedy Central.
Yeah, she must be
And
hilarious.
he goes, hey, but he just stands there and he laughs so crazy, like it's so loud, right? That I could just picture his head cocked back and he's just like, yeah, just throwing. Yeah, he's like.
As soon as we told everybody this toilet was stuck this morning, the whole tier was like, that's what he gets for keeping the whole tier awake.
I told him
He's not that loud anymore. He used to be bad. We told him about it.
I told him, why don't you put your face in a pillow and just laugh, and but
he can't handle it.
I don't think he'll have the sense to pull his face away. Huh? We'll sit right there, passed out purple, huh?
Yeah.
Face in a pillow.
He's like that fat chick in the restaurant, the one that's laughing, and then you got the whole restaurant like, "Damn, girl, keep it down." All your friends are with her like, "Come on, girl, keep it down." Damn, you're laughing all crazy and loud, like, yeah. Somebody said that I gotta laugh like a fat chick.
He definitely does. Definitely does.
Yeah.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
So I feel you. I feel the fat chicks with the loud laugh. That's me.
Hey, trip on the options of these people, James. So they basically told him, look, the only option we have is shut all the water off until Monday. Like, all they have to do, that's how lazy they are.
All they have to do is go in there.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Hey, we're about to race hell right now.
Yep, turn it off and turn it on.
And we're probably going to use this as an excuse to go out to the day room.
All right.
So we got a whole thing planned. But, hey, James, just want to send a shout-out, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Yep, send our love to all our loved ones. Everybody is there for us. That support us and just basically, helping us through this time.
If you are voting in California, remember, vote no on Prop 36.
And yes,
vote yes on Prop 6.
Absolutely.
For more information, initiatejustice.org.
Yep, for sure.
Yep.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you, James. Get to your party, man. Hit us up.
Yep.
Throughout the week, Wednesdays.
And we gotta call. Well, we gotta call you back too, James, because we gotta figure out this taffy thing.
Okay, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Anybody wants some taffy? Wants some taffy?
But we'll call you back later though, not right now. We'll call
Okay.
you back. We'll call you back another time, all right? So you can go handle your business with your family.
All right,
All
for
right,
sure. Hey. All right, then, hey, for those of you that are tuning in, really appreciate you guys. But I gotta go ahead and part ways. I probably won't be live again until Monday. I'll go ahead and start doing the parole board hearings early in the morning. I normally start at about 6. So Monday and Tuesday I'll be running it at least for 3 hours from 6 to 9, and then Wednesday through Friday I'll probably be on it all day. Anyhow, like I said around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, I am out. A rato, and you guys go ahead and have a good one. All right.